Welcome to Hope Natural Health, the podcast inspiring you to be your best version. Join me, your host, Dr. Erin, naturopathic doctor, dog mom, cancer survivor, and girl boss weekly as we discuss all things health, hormones, and happiness with a little side of this thing called life. Welcome back to the Hope Natural Health podcast, where I try to get you healthy the right way. Last week, we talked all about PCOS and 5 ways that you can improve PCOS. And today, I have a special guest in the studio, and we're going to talk about juicing and why this is important for your health. So welcome, Kara, to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, good. I'm so excited to have you here, too. We connected through our neighborhood, and you started this juicing business, and I figured this is like perfect to be on the show because I love juicing. I know there's a lot of benefits to juicing, so I figured I would have, and I'm not an expert in it, and I find it time consuming, so I'd rather have someone juice for me, and that's why I brought you on the show. So tell me how your background and like how you got into your Root and Bloom juicing business.
Oh, man. Okay. So I am currently at ASU right now in the dietetics program.
Awesome.
I'm finished in the spring, so second to last semester.
Almost done.
My goal is to be a registered dietitian, nutritionist.
Awesome.
So bringing that full circle, I was, let me see, background. I did a class where I had to present a hypothetical business. And I had always done cold press, well, just juicing in general, not necessarily cold press, because that's a different topic I'll get into in a minute.
Okay, cool.
But, so I always did juicing for, I don't know, it's almost 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
And so when I brought this up to the class and I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And I presented it and everyone was like super excited. They loved the name because I even used the name Root and Bloom. And so there was a lot of interest. And then, I had to do samples. And so I started doing that within the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I needed to outside, opinions and everyone, I got hits everywhere with people wanting to get a
Well, I
sample.
tried them. They were delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I said, I was talking to my husband. I was like, this would be kind of a cool thing to get into.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was really a thing. Although, there's other juiceries out there that I've gone to. I just didn't know it was for me, a thing for me.
Right.
So I started looking into it and realized this would be something that would be beneficial, not only to me, but to other people. One, it's tenfold because people don't really like making juice every day or even once a week. It's the process is just annoying. Yeah. And, and then also I'm helping people by, giving them, their daily allowance of nutrition and minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. So anyway, I it kind of just flourished from there, bloomed from there.
Got it.
And so I really just started this in April. Yeah. And I, once I showed the, I guess, more financials to my husband, he was like, oh, okay. We started looking into it, health department, got the check for that and good to go. And from there, we just started a website and just really slowly to deliveries. And then now we're in a few farmers markets. Awesome. And we're in a couple stores. Right. And that's about it. That's where we're at right now, and we'll see what happens in the future.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get if you've been doing juicing for 10 years, how did you get into juicing? That's a long time to do that. So what?
It is. So when I first started, my husband and I were just kind of like doing meal prepping because his background is in like personal training. He's a bodybuilder, so he does a lot of like micro and macro counting, and we were looking into what's the best, the quickest, easiest way to get in our nutrition and, you know, go about our day without having to like deal with like eating all the time and wondering what we're eating, at least for me. Yeah. And so I honestly don't remember exactly I can't pinpoint, but I remember going to the store and seeing this juicer that was, I don't know, it was like $40-$50 and bought it and brought it home, and it was the cheapest juicer that you could buy, right? And I just started juicing, and at first it was not as good because I didn't know how to, like, you know, equal parts of whatever, and I just started throwing things in there, cucumbers, celery, spinach, whatever. Anything green, I would just like throw in there. You know, you just chug it down and whatever. And so from there, I just would do it. Wouldn't even think about it. I don't even think I had friends who even knew what it was, juicing in general. So I just did it, and after a while, I think I just got too busy because like I had a child, and you know, I just kind of like put that aside because it's just taking it apart and cleaning it is.
That's like why I don't do it.
It is, and so I basically, you know, a couple of years went by, and then I went back to school, and in the nutrition program that kind of like all came together. And it's been an interesting ride. But on like a surface level, it's cool because I get to, you know, do something that I love. Right. But also in the nutrition program, our dietetics program, I learn about what goes into like why you're drinking it in the first place on like a microscopic level. Exactly. So, and that's interesting to me because when I was drinking, I knew I was drinking my produce and I was getting my daily vegetables in, but why and how why I was feeling really good and why I should keep doing it and stuff like that is pretty cool to like learn.
Yeah, I bet. And you're like example of it, like, you know, because you've been doing it for so long.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that leads us into like the next question, like why, like, juices aren't all created equal. There's some crap out there, and I know you know that. So how do you come up with your juices? Why are yours different? And talk about the different various ones and why they're not all created equal.
So in the broad juice, there's different types of juice. So there's the juice that you see on the shelf that's like in a little plastic bottle that's on the dry goods shelf in the juice section that's not refrigerated. That is pumped full of sugars. That's not even really juice. It's sugar water with flavored whatever. Yeah. And then there is, which is, I'm not saying as bad as like a dietitian, it's just not my favorite thing. And then there's also juice that you would see in a refrigerator, like, you know, grab and go. That juice is more aligned with what I'm doing. The ones that you find in a grocery store are even more different than what I have. The drinks that you find in a grocery store that are kind of like on a wholesale level, those have... they are HPP, which is a high pressure, like a pasteurization kind of thing. And what that is like, basically they put all of this, they do the same process that a guy do. They put it in a cold press. They juice all the vegetables and whatever flavors. They put it all in this, I mean, it depends on like the technology, but in general, they put it in this like big barrel. And there's maybe two types of techniques. One is a high pressured water that's heated really high, and it just blasts the bottles, just like a big barrel of bottles. And it kills, the point of it is to kill all the microbes in the juice. So when you when you pasteurize or HPP the products, all the microbes gone in that juice, good and bad.
I was gonna say it's like your gut microbiome, like it's getting rid of good and bad with like antibiotics.
Yes,
same thing.
So yes, those are good in general, but they are. I don't know. I don't want to like talk bad on cold pressed juices in general, like at the grocery store, but they don't have the good microbes that the whole point of you drinking those is to get all the microbes and stuff like that in your daily recommended allowance or whatever. So
those kind are the cold press.
Yes. So the cold pressed ones, okay, and then I'll kind of branch off onto like get it even further more technical. So once they blast the wholesale companies like, well, it's like 100 and I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. It was like 121 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe, or Celsius. You would have to look that up. But it's a very high temperature.
That is high.
It kills all the bacteria, microbes if there's bacteria in it, on the produce. It kills all of that. And then the point of that is obviously, you go drinking it, you're not going to get salmonella or E. coli or something like that. And that's the whole point. A benefit also to that is it extends the shelf life.
I was going to say those ones typically last longer too, right?
Yes, 45 days.
Dang.
So through the FDA requires that any wholesale drinks have to be like pasteurized in some way. And then there's other processes towards that. But I mean, in general, any juice drinker is not going to really care. But that you have to, it's 45-day shelf life that they allow. And then, but you grab them, they're cheaper for one because they're like mass produced wholesale. But it's just a little less beneficial. Probably the same taste. You do get the fiber, the insoluble fiber.
Okay.
The soluble fiber. And then, it's a good drink to drink. It's fine.
How, are you still really getting like the good, if they kill all of the bugs, like you still get,
you don't get
really
anything.
Know.
You shouldn't get anything because that is the whole point of that is just to kill everything. So, and then it makes me think, okay, like you're getting that fiber, which can, slow down your insulin levels, stuff like that, if you want to go down that road. But for in general, like you're just drinking fruit juice that doesn't really have, or vegetable juice that doesn't have any beneficial gut
to know
bacteria or gut microbes.
Right. Okay.
So it's just interesting. I'm not saying that's like a bad drink. Definitely, it's
better than the shelf at the room temperature shelf juices.
Yes.
So that's like low grade. Now we've got medium grade, and then we've got higher grade, which is your products.
Yeah.
Things like what you make.
So ready-made, basically, that is has a 3 to 5 day shelf life. But it's the health department says 7 days.
Okay.
And so we're cleared for 7 days, and it's not pasteurized. It's not HPB. I literally put it in a cold press, cut it up, wash it, cut it up, put it in the cold press. It basically there's a hydraulic system that pushes all of the juice out, and it goes into a little bottle. I bottle it, cap it, bring it to the store, and then they sell it immediately. I usually just make a few at a time, and then it probably doesn't even last like 2 or 3 days on the shelf.
Right. So. Can you talk, one, what is cold press, and two, what would happen if you had consumed it after 7 days? Like, what are the risks?
So, in the juicing world, there's it depends on who you talk to, but like say if you went to let's see, Nectar, for example, is a huge
Right.
chain that does cold press. In the back, they have a cold press machine, but in the front, they have a juicer that is, one is a masticating juicer, which is a machine that spins it really quick. You put it through the top, and then there's a machine that spins it in like I guess it just depends on the juicer, but most of them are masticating, where it just chops it up as finely as possible, and then it shoots the pulp through one thing, and then the actual liquid part of the vegetable or fruit in another. And that is a great juicer for like you're going to drink right away. Okay. If you use that to try to bottle, it's going to be like a brown mixture, because what happens when it spins it oxidizes all of the like microbes, and not the microbes, but I could probably get a little bit more technical. But anyway, so it like oxidizes a lot of the vegetables to make it like browner, and then you're also killing the microbes as well that way too, because I could be wrong, but so basically those are good to drink right away, and then that's it. So
that would be like the same machine that you have at your, like a Breville.
Yes.
Like I have a Breville juicer. Like that's
exactly
a regular in home. You drink it.
Yes.
You should drink it right away.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay.
So so say do like an experiment where you put in an apple, or put in like a bunch of juice, and then leave it in your fridge for a couple days. It starts getting like really like chunky and brown and yellow, and that's just the oxidation in it. It's not bad. You're going to start tasting a little bit of a difference, like the freshness is gone. Right. But for the most part, it's still okay to drink it. I would say if you made it in your masticating juicer, 3 days tops.
Okay.
And then, So, and then there's another machine that is like a little bit more expensive. The masticating machines are like cheaper, under $100. And then there is a machine that has kind of like a grinding effect, and it kind of has like this big old head that just kind of pushes it through this like funnel, and then pushes it out. So there's not a lot of like heating involved. It just kind of grinds it. Yeah. And then those are like above $100. You can definitely get a decent one for, I don't know, $200, I would say. And that extends it. I think it tastes better. It, they have a better strainer that strains a lot of the fiber and the pulp. Instead of having more of like that like smoothie taste, if that makes sense, there's a lot of like chunkiness in something that is like lower in price, if that makes sense. So, and then you start going up into like a cold press machine, and the cold press machines are there's a hydraulic system that just smushes like all of the, you have to cut it up, put it in a little baggie or a bag like this, like almost like a nut bag. Yeah. And it just pushes all of the pulp together, or the stuff, and then just leaves the pulp in the bag. And then the juice drips out. And then that is the best way to get, that's what all of the wholesale people use, most of the.
Okay, so they are still cold pressed.
Yeah, so
but then they have that
that is the yes.
Okay.
So in general, a cold press is something that is made from a hydraulic system.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anything like that is used in a juicer is made by a juicer that has like a spinning system, and So
why is pressing better than spinning? I guess is probably the question,
right? It minimizes the heat that
okay.
oxidizes
Gotcha.
each vitamin.
Oh, I didn't
know
that.
So you're already juicing. I mean, if you want to talk, some people think that juicing in general is just not as good as eating fruit, just whole fruits and vegetables. But this is just kind of like a fun and easy way of eating meeting your
get
daily
more.
needs. Yes.
Right? In a juice, then you can eat like what's the comparison about, like, say, one of your juices to how much is in your juice to compare to what you would have to eat on a plate?
Sure. So most of my recipes, every single bottle has almost a pound. So if I made one bottle, 2 pounds, almost 2 pounds worth of fruit and vegetables in a 12-ounce bottle.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you think about that, like, there's no way you're going to eat
2 pounds of vegetables. I can't even get people to eat a handful of vegetables, let alone 2 pounds.
Yeah. And when you drink that, you could literally be drinking your week's worth of daily allowance and or recommended day allowance in one day, one sitting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. I think it's a smart way to eat. I actually say juice, like cold press, is an addition to your daily diet because you're drinking it and this is you think you're being healthy, but you need to drink. You need to eat other whole foods and stuff.
But there are some people that are on a liquid diet, and the juicing is like the way that they can get it in.
Exactly.
Things like that. Yeah. I know a big comment I get and a fear that I have about juicing is the sugar. And mostly we need, protein and fat to stabilize that blood sugar because we're drinking it.
Yes.
So there's nothing really to help absorb that sugar. So can you talk about the sugar content? And I know it's like natural sugar from fruits and vegetables and such, but still.
But your body doesn't recognize that. That's all glucose, and glucose is glucose whether you get it from a candy bar or a...
True.
But... Yeah. So I have a lot of people ask me, hey, I'm on a keto diet, for example. What do you have? And I'm just like, well, there's like different drinks that you can have. I would definitely look it up, talk to your doctor, because right now I'm not like a registered dietitian or anything, so I can't really say, but I'm just saying as far as like my knowledge goes, having one cold pressed 12 ounce a day is not going to like spike your insulin if you're a diabetic or something like that. Right. Or, so I would say drink half of it and see how you feel. And then, and if you feel fine, just monitor your levels and maybe drink the next day, like the other half or something, like 6 ounces a day. That's totally fine. Most of my, like the number one selling drink I have right now is this green drink, and it's called Viva La Verde.
I've had that one, I think.
Yeah.
It's good. I think so. So I always buy the green and they're all really good, but the green and the red ones for like the beets.
Oh, you like that one?
I do.
Okay, good.
Well,
I'm excited.
Are sweet.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're all good.
Thank you. The green drink has a lot of like celery and spinach and kale, cucumbers. What else? Now I'm thinking ginger, lemon, and an apple. So it has one full green apple, and you can drink that, and then and since it doesn't really have a lot of the fiber that like kind of slows down your it doesn't spike your insulin levels. I think that what am I trying to get at here? It's not as bad in the grand scheme of things. I think
it's for the sugar content.
Yes. Yeah. I think unless you are very like under like strict orders from a doctor to not eat fruit and vegetables, I think having an apple would be okay if you are healthy enough to eat it. I mean, there's certain, situations that...
Well, you could always pair... Like, I usually drink it and make sure I don't have it on an empty stomach and make sure I pair it with some sort of protein and fat.
Yes.
Because there's not protein in it. I mean, maybe there's a smidge, but it's mostly carbs, mostly sugar from the fruits and the vegetables. So have a handful of nuts or some protein with like a, deli meat, obviously healthy deli meat or something like that to pair it with.
Yeah. I would say even like going off of what you said about not eating it on like a empty stomach, like, you know, it's an addition to your balance. So like you're not just drinking a 1 drink a day or 2 or 3 drinks a day and saying that is your
exactly
diet, because you're not getting, I mean, each drink is, I was
going to say, how many calories are in them? Do you know?
Yeah, so they're on my website.
They are? Okay.
I have them broken down, like how many carbs, proteins, fats, everything that you, all the nutrition facts. And then I go back to what I was trying to say.
The range of the calories.
Yeah, so the tops one is, I have a pineapple drink that's like 120. So the green drink's like 60 calories.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
So you're getting,
can't supplement.
You can't. You have to drink it on top of your daily. It's just
a supplemental food.
Yes, it absolutely. And you know, and that goes off of like the cleansing and the fasting and stuff, that kind of on like a, if you want me to like go into that, I'll
sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I, as a dietitian, I do cringe a lot when I hear cleansing.
Oh yeah, I do too. I love it because I'm like, why are you cleansing? What are you cleansing from? And how are you going to cleanse? Tell me more.
Do you have kidneys? Do you have a liver?
Right?
You're cleansing.
Exactly.
You're detoxing.
I need to do a parasite cleanse. Why? Do you have a parasite?
Yeah.
Well, how do you know you have a parasite?
Right.
You don't know?
No.
It's funny. Yeah, I hear you there.
So I on that, you know, I take off my dietitian hat and I put on my marketing hat, and I'm going to give my secrets away, but I definitely do have the fasting packages online, because I do think, in a sense, asterisk, you know, because it's not really as healthy as I would as a dietitian say, hey, do this package. But it is a good way to maybe, I guess, reset on like a psychological level, not on a physiological level, because you can't reset your body. That's what your body is supposed to do on its own. Right. Yeah. So I do have like packages where it's, you know, I have something that's like 1 day, 3-day fasting, stuff like that. Anything more than that, I just think is just, you're going to start going into starvation. I see 5-day packages on, you know, people do that. And I'm just like, you know, you do what you feel you need to do with your body. But as a medical person. Not the best thing for me. I wouldn't do it. First of all, I would be
I like
grumpiest person, right?
Well, yeah, and I like food.
Yeah.
Don't tell me not to eat food.
I've done one time just to see how I would react, and it wasn't bad, but I definitely wouldn't be able to do 2 or 3 days.
I've honestly never done a juice cleanse.
Yeah.
I've done one of those 5 days, but I've added it in, like you recommend, like to eat it, like just add it into my daily eating. And I ate really good, but I don't think I could live off juice. I just can't do it. But I had a colleague in school that did like 100-day juice fast or something like that, 100 days. I'm like, that is insane. But he was like watched by a doctor and labs, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
Like
so
nuts.
It was like a medical advice.
Yes, he did it, and he was watched to make sure that you know, everything was okay with it. But I'm like, no, I need to chew food. Like I can't juice every single day and have that as, oh my gosh, how much work would that be? So much work. But
it takes us like to do one blend or one label of juice. Probably now my husband helps me. I used to do it myself in the kitchen in our commercial kitchen, and it would take us or me like 2 hours just to do like probably 6 bottles of 12 at least. And it was just because I'm very like, let's get all this dirt off of all the vegetables, make sure everything is good. Like I'm just like very like, clean in that like aspect of it. And so it would take me a long time, cleaning the juicer is kind of a pain in the butt. Like, But now, like, you know, a cold press is a little different than if you were at home doing a juice because, like, there isn't, like, a strainer to, like, a metal strainer.
Yeah,
to,
you have
like,
that little bag, right?
Yeah, so the bag,
bag.
you empty the bag out. I have a little compost bin that
cool.
I use. I don't even, like, throw it away. I keep it. And then, so I dump the compost out and wipe it down, clean the little auger that, like, grinds up the produce, and that's it. It's easy, but that's my job. So it's kind of
so
like,
cool.
you know, you kind of get into the routine of things. But like, if I had to juice at home every day for any reason, I wouldn't.
Okay, you're making me really not want to juice. We were talking about juicing the other day, and I'm like, I would rather just buy it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
It's just, you know, and I'm just talking to my friends about that, like how they just like, they don't want to clean it. And so they'll juice once a month because like they realize, you know, they're like, oh, I'm going to juice again. And then they get in there like, oh, reality. It's not as good it's not as fun. And so I don't know if the benefit outweighs the...
Probably. How many different products do you have now?
Oh my gosh. I would have to count. I add a lot on my website. I just don't necessarily like make them visible yet.
Right.
Probably 30
wow.
different cold press drinks. So I have about 6 that are very popular. I do have a few that are more on like the I don't know, what do you call it, the hip side, like the very trendy kind of. So I have a drink that has activated charcoal.
Oh, which one's
food
that?
grade. It's called Desert Moon.
Okay, I don't think I've had that one.
Yeah, it's not. It's only on the website.
Okay.
So it just kind of has like a lot of apples in it and like ginger. So it's kind of more of that, like you feel like kind of like if you're drinking like a celery drink, you feel like that, like you're cleansing in a way. And it's mostly, it definitely helps for like bloating and stuff like that. So it's a debloater. It's not really like a cleanser, quote unquote, but it definitely helps with the bloating. I know that because I've tried it. You know, there's like not really a lot of science to back it up, but a lot of people say like don't eat or don't consume activated charcoal. Right. But people get it in the hospital. Yeah. You know, and basically what it is, it just kind of like doesn't let your intestines absorb toxins. That's all really it. It just doesn't. And then also not just toxins, but maybe other medication. And that's kind of why there's a lot of people that say, you know, don't consume it if you're on certain medications. Yeah, 'cause it can bind it up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I just kind of keep it on my website for now. If, you know, I have a disclaimer and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so I have other drinks like Spirulina. And that one is kind of like, has like a sweet taste to it. So it has like pear in it. You can go on the website and like look at the ingredients and stuff. But my son loves it. Oh, really? Yeah. It's called Blue Havasu.
Oh, okay. So I've heard that one.
Yes. So it's kind of like a lemonade-y kind of lemonade-y.
Is it blue?
It is blue. Yeah. So I have the blue Spirulina, and it was really popular like in the summer, just because it's kind of like that lemonade. Yeah. And I think that's it for now. I try not to have like, because you know all of my stuff is like in a kitchen that has like the size of like a tub, right? So I don't really have a lot of storage. So I kind of want to keep my inventory. My inventory low. Right. So I have to take a lot of like, you know, 5 or 6 pieces of like fruit and produce and blend it into like different types of ingredients that are completely different from each other. So that is a challenge in itself, but I think it's fun. Sometimes I get really gross drinks and then, you know, no one tastes those, but, yeah, so it's...
How fun.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is there... I feel like I've learned so much about juice. I can't wait to get more. Is there anything that we missed that is important for the non-juicer out there to know?
Let's see. There's benefits to juicing.
Yes.
There's
you touched on some of them.
I did,
with,
yes.
The amount of vegetables, but yeah, what are more?
Exactly. So there's it's beneficial to boost your immune system, boost your energy. When I'm like on a juice kick, I make juices for a living and I still don't even drink it like every single day.
Yeah.
But when I do, I realize, wow, like where are my taste buds? Like I'll eat foods that have a lot of salt in them and stuff, and it kind of I can taste everything in my drink. So it really like changes your taste buds, your gut health. Yeah. It'll reduce your risk of cancer. There's even help you with weight maintenance, not necessarily weight loss, because I don't want people associating juice with weight loss, but more of like, you're not gonna gain like a bunch of weight drinking produce. Exactly. So yeah. There is potential for weight loss, but then, you can get into the malnutrition aspects of that, like weight loss. So, let me see what else. I don't know. I think, I talked about like the addition to, that's my huge thing. It's so important. I agree with that. It is, drinking, most juice bars will have like salads and like acai bowls and smoothies and stuff, because you can't just go into a juice bar and just, hang out and drink juice, if that makes sense. Like, people need other things to consume. Yes, exactly. It's a good snack. Yeah. So I think I touched everything as far as what you... Yeah. No, that was awesome. My last question that I ask everyone, what is your best or favorite health tip that you can share with everyone? It doesn't even have to do anything with juicing. It does, though. Okay. And I was thinking, okay, be more active, drink more water. But everything comes back to your gut. So be good to your gut. That is good. And it's true. It's very true. I just recorded a podcast, the one right before yours, about PCOS. And I was talking about how we have to look at the gut. I look at the gut for everything. Every health complaint that someone comes in for, I'm like, how's your gut? What's going on with the gut? Yep. So, that's good. Yeah. All right, people, you got to take care of your gut and get juicing, and that will help with your gut. Oh my gosh, Kara, I'm so excited that you are here. It's been a pleasure to actually finally meet you and connect with you. She lives in my neighborhood, and that's how I know about her. So tell people, how can they get your juices? I think you're only local for now. I mean, maybe you'll just grow super big and be able to ship. I don't think you're doing that now, are you? Yeah, I mean, the health department kind of limits me, because the health department, if you even looked into doing juicing, like on a commercial level, they're very scared of juice products. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. So I'm kind of limited on local, state within the state. I can't ship out of state at the moment. So Arizona only? Yeah, Arizona only. And then specifically local, as in like the East Valley of Phoenix suburbs. Like and East Mesa. East Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek, Apache Junction. Okay, cool. So just go on my website, www.rootandthelletterNbloom.com, and then you can just see like where I'm at. If you're not like living in, if you're not in that delivery area, you can check my farmers markets, and Eastmark Farmers Market is a market that we're having tomorrow. Yeah, are you going to be there? Yes. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Awesome. So we have that, and then I have a list of other cool events that I'm going to be at in the next couple of months. Awesome. And and you also, and I didn't write it on here, but you just shared a discount code. And I'll put this all in the show notes for everyone. So Kara has been so nice to give me a discount code for the viewers. So you can go to her website, and if you're in the East Valley or Arizona, you can use, what is the code? It's Ellis 21.
2121. Okay, we'll have it in the show notes, but
yeah,
it's okay. I didn't write it down. I just got it in the email a little while ago. But yes, I really appreciate that discount, and it's off your first order.
It is. It expires at the end of the year.
Right.
And I think it's 20% off. Mm-hmm. So if you are in the area, you can pick it up instead of have it delivered at the farmer's market.
Oh, perfect.
You can pick it up at the farmer's market, and then get that 20% off.
Awesome. So. Well, thank you so much for that. Everyone needs to try them because they're delicious. And I go to the little farm store in Eastmark and just see what juices are in there because they're always changing.
Yeah. We try to
rotate it. Yeah, it's fun.
Keep people happy.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being here, Kara. And as always, if you found value in this or have any comments about juicing, if you love juicing yourself, let both of us know. Tag us on Facebook, Instagram, share it with the world, use the code, check out our website, and we'll see you next week.